All right, welcome everyone to a survey builder demonstration. To start off, I will mention that for those of you who have uploaded common measures prior to our switch to common measures 3.0, it might look very similar, or it will look very similar to what the upload website looked like before, but we have some new features. So we will show you what it looks like, and then if time permits, we will do a live upload of a data set just so that you can see how it works. Just want to make sure everyone can see the presentation. Okay, then I'm going to give Steph the mic first.
Sure. So thank you all for joining us for this demonstration. So in the slides, we're going to show you kind of some of the buttons and different steps you'll take when you're creating a survey and then administering the survey and importing your data. And then Suzanne will give you kind of a live look of what the website looks like. So the first thing you'll do on the next slide is when you log in, you'll see the name of your grant up top in Survey Builder. And there's a couple of different things here that you can click. So what is Survey Builder? You can learn a little bit more about what this tool is. You can also, as a hot tip, use the Manage Grant button to add folks to your grant. So the PI can add staff to the grant. If you have someone who needs to be making or using the surveys on your behalf, you can use that button to add staff to the grant who may have been added since the last time you updated it. You can select your grant from the dropdown. If you just have one grant, you're only going to have one option, but some folks have multiple grants, so you can toggle between them using that dropdown right there. And when you're ready to start building your new survey, you click the Add a New Survey button to get started. And when you go here, you'll want to give your survey a title, something that will be memorable to you, so you'll know which one you're looking at and which one you're using. You can group all your data together. So if you want all of your sites to use one survey, that's totally fine. If you would like to have each of your sites have their own survey that they're administering, you can create one for each site. So up to you how many surveys you'd like. You've got kind of unlimited numbers that you can start creating in here. And again, if you're toggling between grants, maybe you picked the wrong one on the last screen, or you just want to confirm which grant you're working in, the drop down is there as well. And then the next button will move you along in the next step. So the next step to creating your survey is to select an audience. So here we've selected children 9 years and younger, but there are a couple of different choices. You can also choose youth, 10 years to 17 years, and adults, approximately 18 years and older. So those are the three types of surveys that you can create, or the three audiences that we have kind of different survey settings for. And then you hit next to move on. A thing you can do in Survey Builder is change up the order of the measures that your participants will see. So they default to resilience being first, then life skills, and then program quality for child, slightly different measures for youth and adults. Program quality will only show up at post-test. So even though it's here, when you're setting up the survey for the first time, that survey will not appear for your participants until you use the post-test set. In pre-test, they'll just see resilience and life skills for children. Then you click next. So here's the measures for youth and adult. You can drag them into whatever order you would like them to be in. Some folks might like to have demographics get out of the way in the beginning. Some folks might want to have those at the end. That's your choice. Then you'll enter some information about your program's design or the participation level. So how many sessions of this program will be offered? And that's an open box. It will make you use numbers, so you have to enter whole numbers, but any number is an option in there. And then the number of hours for each session, you've got a couple of different options there. And then how often each session is going to occur, whether it's daily, weekly, bi-weekly, meaning every other week, monthly, or other. And then you'll click next. And that will be the same for all of your participants. So it's asking you what it looks like at the program level. I'm going to hand it over to Suzanne to talk about, once you've got your survey up and going, it'll appear back on your home screen and you'll see a bunch of different options that she's going to talk you through.
Yeah, so once you've created your survey, the Three most important columns at the beginning are print, import, and online. If you look under print, you see pre-post, pre-Spanish, and post-Spanish. These buttons will give you the PDFs of the measures that your age group is required to complete at the pre and post test. So for children, if you click on pre, you will get a PDF with the resilience measure, the life skills measure, and that's it, because those are the only two measures that your child participants complete at the pre time. For post, it will also include program quality, but since staff completes engagement, dosage, and demographics for child participants, those measures do not show up in the PDFs. The import buttons are for when you have completed administration of the common measures, either on paper or via another tool like Qualtrics or SurveyMonkey. If you click on participant entered pre-data, you will see a screen that will give you an option to download a template and then upload your data set. A tip is to download the template right at the start when you create the grant, so that you know what you need to collect and what your data set needs to look like for a successful upload. If you want to have your participants complete the survey on a device online, you can use the pre-survey or the post-survey button. This will bring you to a screen where a participant can fill out the survey online. That means you do not have to do the import, because that will automatically include the data into your reports. We will be looking at some of these screens, what they will look like. So I skipped the PDF buttons because I think once you have created a survey and you click the button, you will see it's a PDF. It opens in a tab. It's not something that I think I need to show you, but I do want to show you this. So if you click import participants enter pre-data, you see the blue button there that says download pre-data template files. It will give you the template, so an empty sheet with just the header so that you can see what goes where. And then you will also receive a code book, so that if you complete these measures on paper and pencil and you are entering the data, you know which values are accepted in the data set. Once you have your data set up, you can choose a file at the bottom there and click upload data. That will try to upload the data, and the system is very nice. And we will do that in a minute. I'm going to show you first. If you click online, you want to do an online pre-test. You click the button and you say pre-test for my participants. This is the screen it'll bring you to. So either you can open it on a computer and set a participant down and do it, or you can you have a QR code that you can either put up on a big screen or download and send out. Participants can scan this, and this will bring them to the same screen that's now hidden, which is the start of the survey with filling in the unique ID. Okay, back to uploading your data. Sorry for that switch there. So the nice thing about Survey Builder is that it will tell you if something is wrong with your data set. So I was uploading some data and I had switched the survey language and the unique ID columns. So unique ID needs to be the very first column, survey language the second. If that is not the case, Survey Builder will not ever move forward. It will just give you this error warning and asks you to correct the issue. Once you've done that and you upload again, there might still be issues. And the nice thing is that Survey Builder will tell you exactly in what row and what column the issue occurs. And so if you have multiple issues, you will see a longer list. But in this case, I uploaded a file that it was just probably a mistype, because the value that they had for child resilience was 56. That's not a value. The resilience measure goes from 1 to 5. And so I removed the 6 from the 56 and tried again, and then it worked. But it tells you exactly cell P26 was the one that I needed to go to and change a measure. So it will tell you exactly. Another issue that we often see is that empty cells or missing data are not coded as 99. So for Survey Builder to accept the data file, your missing data needs to be coded as 99. So that's just something to keep in mind. But again, if you have an empty cell, Survey Builder will just tell you these stems are empty and they need to be coded as 99. Once you're successful, it's very clear. It'll give you this really nice green check mark, and you can just click to return to your survey list and continue with the work you're doing. So there should be no confusion whether your upload was successful or not.
One thing I will say, it takes a little bit for your upload to work through because Survey Builder is checking cell by cell through your whole file. So if you have, as some folks do, 500 participants who have completed all of your measures, it takes Survey Builder a while, and you might sit on the upload screen for a minute or two. But it is working, or longer, and you will get a confirmation screen. So hold on, just because it is checking through and being very thorough.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that, Steph. So once you have some data in your survey, there's a couple other buttons that become very interesting, and those are the reports. We have two reports. We have a user report and a data report. And we're gonna, even though the user report is the first button or the second button, we're gonna look at that first because it's just a nifty tool that we asked for that gives you a quick overview of did I upload everything I need to upload for my participants? And as you can see for this demo, I uploaded their unique IDs. I uploaded the pre-data that the participants completed themselves. I uploaded the participants' post data, and I uploaded the staff post data. So the data that staff completes for child participants at post. I have not uploaded the pre-data yet. That is just demographic data for your participants at pre, but it's a really nice overview of what is there and what is missing. And this was a complete data set. So you'll see every participant has either a blue check mark or a red X, but you could have, if some participants skipped entire measures, you will have more X marks there so that you can pinpoint the exact participants that is not completing the data. If you want to pull your data in a report, you can. We have a few available. You can look at just frequencies online. You can download a CSV file where you can match your unique IDs. And so you will have one row for each participant with their pre-data and their post-data in the same data set. And you can download a PDF that has frequency data in it as well. If you click the Match Unique IDs button, then the data will be matched up. So you will have the same number of participants in pre and post, and it will show you how overall the group moved from pre to post. You can give your report subtitles when you download them. Make that easy on yourself so that you know when you're looking for a report, you can find it. Then we have a couple more buttons that we would like to talk about. One button is the staff survey. We are asking your staff that work with the participants to complete the program quality at post-test as well from their perspective. So whenever your participants complete the post set measures, we ask your staff to complete it as well. The one difference is that staff can only complete this online. So they can only do this via Survey Builder. There's no way for us to upload the data. So once you have set up the survey, it's there anyways. You can send them the QR code and they will be, you should send them the QR code from the staff survey button so that it's coded as staff data, but it's the same program quality measure as the participants complete. And then the last button is mark completed. It's not the last button, it's the last important one. Once you have uploaded all the data into the survey for your participants, for that group that is together, the cohort, so to say, you can mark the survey as completed. This means you cannot add any more data to it. So make sure all the data for all your participants is in there. But to reduce searching on your end, you can mark it as completed once it's done. You can also duplicate a survey. So if you run your program with new participants, for example, every year, and you want to upload the data on a yearly basis, you do not have to go through the process of setting up the survey 5 years in a row. You can just hit the duplicate survey and it'll give you the same survey as the year passed. If you make a mistake, you can delete it, but make sure you have no data in there if you do, because the data will be gone with it.
Suzanne, we had a couple questions in the chat. So if we click pre and post checkboxes, will it automatically put the data in the same row as the unique ID, or do we need to check match unique IDs to make that happen? So I think it's asking, if we don't click match unique IDs, what happens? Yeah,
if you don't click match unique IDs, it'll be grouped together in 2 columns, but it'll be not on the same row. So you'll have the row 1 is the pre-test, row 2 is the post-test, and then you go to the next participants with pre-post. So if you click match unique IDs, then it'll be on 1 row, and there's just a column in the middle of the spreadsheet that says this is your post starts. Yeah.
And then the next question is, for the staff survey, do staff need to repeat the survey for each individual using the same QR code? And I think you're asking if staff just complete 1 program quality measure each. They don't need to complete the program quality measure multiple times for a program.
But yes, they can use all the same link because we are not collecting identifying data for the staff. So with the 1 link, you can have multiple staff complete the program quality.
Marianne asks, with what frequency? Marianne, can you clarify? Do you mean the staff survey, or how often do we collect data overall? Staff survey is done once per offering. So when you collect pre and then post data from your participants, you would collect that staff perception of program quality survey as your participants complete the post measure. So if you have multiple sets of participants each year who do a pre and post, your staff might complete the staff perception of program quality measure a few times, but they just do it once per set of pre-post participant measures. And then if we select the online survey, is there an option for the participants to select the language, English, Spanish?
Yes, there is. Sorry, that dropped off my screenshot. Yes, there is. Also, if you can have some participants do this online and some on pencil and paper and merge it into 1 survey. So if some of your participants complete this within Survey Builder and you have some completed it and you need to upload a data file, you can do that within the same survey and it'll merge all the data together. Yeah.
And Jennifer asked, will unmatched surveys be excluded?
They will not. You can still download that data. It's just if you are looking really at pre-post changes, that's where the match unique IDs come in. But we are not throwing away any data because we want all the data we can get. And so, yes, we will also accept IDs, unique IDs that are only at pre or only at post. All right, well, I am going to stop this share and open Survey Builder. And we can all sit together and wait while a data set uploads. All right, I'm going to share again. Wait, let me make sure. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. All right. So I'm back in Survey Builder. We have this test grant that has a fancy title, and as Steph mentioned, we have the Manage Grant button, add a new survey, and we have the box with all the options. As we saw in the user report, all the data is uploaded except for participant entered or staff entered pre-data. So I'm going to upload this file. The download data template files. Let's see in what screen this opens. The right screen, but I don't know if you guys can see that because Zoom might hide it.
We can see it.
We can see it. Okay, so it gives you a template and it gives you a code book. It gives you, if you work with multiple age groups, it tells you exactly which survey it belongs to because it includes the survey title that you included. I'm going to choose a file and I'm going to do child pre-staff entered. We're gonna hit upload. You can see in the top that it is turning. And if someone wants to start a stopwatch, we can see how long it takes. But while it's running, if there are any other questions, this is a good time to unmute yourself and ask.
And Ann is saying in the chat, I remember that you mentioned we could split the survey up, such as completing it in 2 sessions. Would the print version work best for this method?
It would. And that is a really good question. It is not something we have tested how to do that with if you have them completed within Survey Builder. So that is something I'm going to bring back to the team and we will discuss that because that is something we need to be able to do then. If that's not something we can do in Survey Builder, you need to know so that you can plan for other ways of administering. Yes, absolutely. On pencil and paper is definitely the easiest way to do so.
The other thing I wanted to mention with the when the template downloads, you also see the code book there. The code book can help you make sure that when you're entering data from pencil and paper administration, that you're using the right values to enter your data. So for instance, an error that I see pretty frequently in data sets that folks have submitted in the last year through email is that participant sex will be coded as MF or even the whole word male, female. And Survey Builder will not accept that. It will accept what's in the code book, which is a 1-2 coding for sex. Same with various other things for race. So making sure you check out the code book, seeing what the values that will be accepted are can help you to circumvent any errors or correct them all at once.
And it looks like I uploaded the correct file right away. So it didn't take that super long. It's a shorter file. It has about 34 participants. So keep in mind that the more participants you have, the longer this will be. But now, if we go back to that user report, you can see that the red axis changed into blue check marks, and we have a complete data set here. So some things stayed very much the same from the previous version, and then we have some new features that are hopefully helpful as you work with your participants and collect data. Any other questions? Does anyone have data that they will be trying to upload later this afternoon? Not yet. Well, Steph and I are available We have a few office hours coming up that if you are working with a data set and trying to upload and you run into issues and it's close to an office hour, join us. Otherwise, email us because we're always happy to help. Shannon, did you have a question? I see you turned your camera on.
I was just going to say, I think the office hours will be really helpful. I worked with preschoolers on the project that's ending next month. And so we didn't work in the survey builder because there weren't preschool measures other than demographics. So I know it'll make, it'll be much more concrete once I actually have data. So getting to look at it now is helpful, and you'll be seeing us again. Yeah, thanks.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Like one extra thing we should say is that since Survey Builder is out now, that does mean that email data collection on our end is phasing out. So for the next set of data before the Q3 quarterly report for common measures, we all need to move back to Survey Builder, and we will gently usher you back that way if you email us your data set. Well, Suzanne and I will sit if anyone has immediate questions or wants to drop them in the chat, but otherwise we can give you 29 minutes back in your afternoon. So thank y'all.
Thank you, Suzanne and Stephanie.
Yes, thank you very much. Nicely done.
Thank you. That was really helpful.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Great. We'll be talking soon, I'm sure. Thanks, everyone.
Sure.
Tomorrow,
Natalia.
Andrew. Sorry, Steph.
Natalia had a question about if they have extra measures that they include in their survey, is there a way to integrate them with Survey Builder? And there is not a way to integrate additional measures with Survey Builder right now. You can add them in a data set that you have on your computer or collect them separately, but we can't collect them, and it won't allow you to import additional data through Survey Builder.
That has to do with the fact that we also do not have your IRB permission to house those surveys. And we only collect de-identified data.
Hi, everybody. I have a quick question for you.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi. So we're in our planning year, but we also have another Hoogenhof grant with another funder. Can we start a different set that's not SciFar for data collection?
Yes, I'm going to send you an email about this because we do have a way to have practice data.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could use Survey Builder and not have it integrate with the SciFar measures.
Okay.
So I will email you some information about that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.